Hello everyone, today we are going to solve O-Levels paper 2 in a session October-November 2020, paper 2-1. So let's begin with the first question. Question number 1, part A. Here is some information about a holiday. 7-night holiday, $340 per person, 8% discount if you book before 31st of March. On 15th February, Naseem booked this holiday for 2 people. Calculate the total cost of his holiday. Okay, as we know that before 31st of March, 8% of discount, and he booked on 15th of February. 15th of February is obviously before 31st of March, so he will get 8% of discount. So first we need to find what is 8% of this cost. $340. So 8% of 340 is 8 divides 100 times 340. This would be $27.2. $27.2. So now of the price after discount would be price after discount. So this much is the discount, 27.2. So 340 subtract 27.2 would be the price after discount. So 340 subtract 27.2 would be 312.8 per person. So this much is a cost for for one person. Okay, now he booked for 2 people, so we need to multiply it by 2. So the cost for 2 would be would be 2 times 3.312.8 is $625.6. Now for part B, Naseem hires a car for his holiday. The total cost is $241.50. This cost includes 15% of tax. Calculate the cost of hiring the car excluding the tax. At first we need to find 15% of some x, right? And then we need to add 15% of that x into that x, and then this would be equals to 241.50. Right? First we need to find 15% of that amount and then add that 15% of tax into that amount. We will get the cost including the tax. Okay, so this is 15 divides 100 times x plus x. This is x. This would be equals to 241.50. Right? So let me take x common. It would be 15 divides 100 plus 1 would be equals to 241.50. Right? So first we need to do 15 divides 100 plus 1 is this much, that is 1.15, and then 241.50 divide with that answer, it would be 210. So the value for x is 210. So this is a cost of hiring the car excluding the tax, right? Now for part C, Naseem drives a total of 800 kilometers on holiday. He used a total of 29.6 liters of fuel. Calculate the average rate of fuel used in liter per 100 kilometers. So first liter, 29.6 per 100 kilometers. So the kilometers are 800 and times by 100. Okay, so 29.6 times 100 dividing by 800, this would be 3.7. So we can say that 3.7 liter per 100 kilometer. This is the average rate of fuel. Now for part D, Naseem changes $240 to euros for his holiday. The exchange rate between the dollars and the euros is this much. Okay, let's do it step by step. So first we need to convert the dollars into euros by using this exchange rate. So if $1 is this much euros, what would be $450? So we can say $450 would be equals to, in terms of euros, it would be 450 times 0.82. How much in terms of euros? 450 times 0.82 is 369 euros. Okay. On holiday he spent 297 of euros. Okay, so now we need to subtract 297 of euros. Let's see how much euros are left. Subtract 297, this would be 72 euros are left. Okay, and Naseem changes the remaining money back to the dollar when he returns home. So this is the remaining money. The exchange rate is now $1 would be this much. Work out how much dollars he receives. Okay, so we need to convert this euros into dollars. So by using the exchange rate, if I can say that according to exchange rate, 1 euro would be 1 out of $0.80. So what would be 42 euros? 72 euros. 72 euros would be, in terms of dollars, 72 divides 0.80. Right? So 72 divides 0.80, this would be $90 on his return. Question number 2 in part A. The cumulative frequency diagram shows a masses in grams of 60 potatoes of variety A. So the number of potatoes are 60, right? So we have given the masses in grams and the cumulative frequency and the curve as well. So for the first part, use the diagram to estimate the median. Median, we know that is half of the value. That is half of 60. This would be equals to 30th value. We need to calculate the 30th value, right? Okay, going back to the curve and find out what is the 30th value. Let me draw a straight line from 30. Yes. And the 30th value would be 180, 182, 184, 186, 188. So the median is 188 grams, right? For the second part, the interquartile range, as we know that the interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1, and Q3 is 3 by 4th of the value, that is 3 by 4th of 60. What is 3 by 4th of 60? That is 3 by 4 of 60. This would be 45 value. We need to find the 45th value. And Q1 is 1 by 4 of the value. So 1 by 4 of 60 is 15th value. We need to calculate the 45th value and 15th value and then subtract both of them. So first we need to find the 45th value. This is 40, 42, 44 and 45 in the middle. Yes, let me draw the straight line. This is a 45th value and it would be at this point. Yes, 200, 2, 4, 6, 8, 208. Okay, now let me find the 15th value, that is between 10 and 20, 12, 14 and 15. 15 is over here. Yes, so this would be 170. Okay, so the Q3 is 3208 and Q1 is 170. So this would be equals to 208 subtract 170. So what would be the interquartile range? 208 subtract 170, 38. 38 grams is the interquartile range. Now for the second part, potatoes with a mass greater than 200 grams are sold as a baking potatoes. Find the percentage of the potatoes that are sold as a baking potatoes. 220 grams. Let me find how many potatoes have a mass greater than 240 grams. So Let me find the cumulative frequency for, sorry, it's 220. I messed up. It's 220. Potatoes having greater than 220 are baking potatoes. Okay, so according to 220, yes, there would be 52 potatoes. Okay, and the total we have 60 potatoes, right? So 52 potatoes have a mass of 220 grams, and the total potatoes we know are 60 potatoes. So we need to find the percentage that how many potatoes having a mass greater than 220 grams are 60, subtract 52, dividing by the total number of potatoes and times by 100. 60 minus 52 would be 8. So 8 divided 60 times by 100. This would be 13.3. 13.3%. Now for the third part, the masses of 60 potatoes of variety B are also measured. For variety B, the median is 175 grams and the interquartile range is 30 grams. Okay, this is for the variety B, right? And keep in mind for the variety A, the median is 188 and interquartile range is 38, right? Kalis want to buy potatoes that are more consistent in mass. Should she choose variety A or variety B? Explain how you decide. Okay, she should choose variety B. Why? Because the interquartile range of variety B is smaller. For variety A, the interquartile range is 38, that is higher. So we can say that the interquartile range is smaller. So this is the only reason, because she should choose the potatoes that are more consistent in masses. So when the potatoes are more consistent in masses, it means their interquartile range must be smaller. Part B, the table shows the masses m grams of 120 potatoes of variety C. Now keep in mind for variety C, the number of potatoes are 120. We have given the masses and we have given the frequency. Calculate an estimate of the mean mass. So to calculate the mean, we can use a formula sum of fx dividing by the total. Total are 120 potatoes. Okay, so f is a frequency, this, and x is a midpoint of the intervals. So we need to work on the midpoints of the intervals. Let's say, let me make the midpoints over here. So what is a midpoint of 80 and 100? That would be 90. The midpoint of 100 and 120 is 110. The midpoint of 120 and 130 is 125. The midpoint of 130 and 140 is 135. And the midpoint of 140 and 200 would be 170. Right. Now we need to find fx, the product of the midpoint and the frequency. Okay, so 90 times 10 would be 900. 15 times 110 would be 1650. 1650. Then 42 times 125, 5250. Then 36 times 135 is 4860. And then 170 times 17 would be 2890. Okay, now we need to find the sum of all these numbers. So it would be 900 plus 1650 plus 5250 plus 4860 plus 2890. This is a sum. So we can say 15,550 divides 120. This would be the mean mass. 129.58, or we can, if we round it, it would be 130 grams. Now for part C, a bag of potatoes has a mass of 2.5 kilograms, correct to the nearest 100 grams. Okay, so we have kilograms here and we have grams over here. So first we need to convert the kilograms into grams by using a conversion that 1 kilogram is basically equals to 1000 grams. And what would be 2.5 kilograms? 2.5 kilograms would be equals to 2.5 times 1000. This would be 2500 grams, right? So this is basically equals to 2500 grams, right? Bags of potatoes are packed into boxes. The mass of the box is 600 grams, correct to the nearest 10 grams. Calculate the upper bound of the total mass in kilograms. So we need to find the answer in kilograms of box containing 10 of these bags of potatoes. Okay, so first we need to find the upper bound. So for the upper bound, we can say 2500 grams, correct to the nearest 100 grams. It means plus minus 100 dividing by 2. This would be equals to 50. So we need to add 50 and subtract 50. So 2500 50, 2400 50, right? And 600 grams, correct to the nearest 10 grams, right? So plus minus 10 dividing by 2, that would be 5. So adding 5 and subtracting 5, so 605 and 595. This would be the upper bound and this is a lower bound. Again, this is the upper bound and this is a lower bound, right? Okay, so we need to work for the upper bounds. So this is upper bound and this is upper bound. Total mass in kilograms. First we need to find in grams and then at the end we can convert it into kilograms of a box containing 10 of these bags of potatoes. So what is a total mass? So the total mass would be total mass is equals to mass of a box. What is the mass of a box? The upper bound for the mass of a box. The mass of a box is 600. So it would be upper bound is 605 plus 10 times the mass of bags of potatoes. Bags of potatoes would be this much. So it would be 2550. Okay. So 10 times 2550 and then plus 605. This would be 26,105 in grams. Now we need to convert them into kilograms by dividing it with 1000. So it would be 26.105 kilograms. Question number 3 in part A. In triangle PQR, P to R is 7.5 centimeter and Q to R is 6 centimeter. In first part, using a ruler and compasses only, construct the triangle PQR. The line PQ has been drawn for you. So PR, so we have given the P. Now we can make an R. So P to R must be 7.5 centimeter. So we can open a compass of 7.5 centimeter. As you can see, we have 7.5 centimeter over here. So let me open the compass of 7.5 centimeter. As you can see, this is 7.5 centimeter exactly. Put it on P, and draw an arc, right? Now QR is, Q to that R is 6 centimeter. Now open the compass of 6 centimeter. This is exactly equals to 6 centimeter. Put it on Q and draw an arc, and their point of intersection is the point R. And let me connect PR and QR. So this is a triangle PQR. Now for second part, by taking suitable measurements from your triangle, calculate the area of a triangle PQR. PQR, we need to calculate the area. So as we know that the area of a triangle is equals to half base times height. So the base is PQ. So what is PQ in terms of centimeter? This is exactly 8 centimeter. And what is the height? This is 5.7. Yes, 5.6. This is 5.5 and this would be 5.6. 5.6 centimeter. Okay, now let me substitute it over here. So 1 by 2 times 8 times 5.6. This would be the area. 8 times 5.6 dividing by 2 would be 22.4 centimeter square. Now for part B, diagram shows two triangles, ABC and ACD. A to B is 9.7 centimeter, B to C is 6.4 centimeter, C to D is 3.8 centimeter, and A to C is 5.3 centimeter. Angle ADC is 63 degrees. For the first part, calculate the angle DAC. DAC, this angle we need to calculate. Okay, so we have given the two sides and one angle. If we work on the triangle ADC, we have given two sides and one angle. We can find this angle by using law of sine. Yes, so I'm applying law of sine on a triangle ADC. So since I need to find angle A, so the sine law would be sine A over A would be equals to sine D over D, right? So sine A would be equals to A by D sine D, right? So let me find out the value for the angle A. This would be equals to sine inverse of, what is A and D? A is, the front side of A is 3.8. So A is 3.8 over D. The front side of D is 5.3. So this would be 5.3. And sine of D is 63. Let's simplify it. Sine 63 times 3.8 divide 5.3 and doing a sine inverse, 39.7 degrees. Yes, so we can say this angle is 39.7. Now for the second part, calculate angle ABC. So where is ABC? ABC, this angle we need to calculate. Okay, now this time if I consider the triangle ABC, I have given AB, BC and AC. All the three sides are given. I just need to work out one angle. So I will apply law of cosine in this question. Okay, law of cosine on a triangle ABC. Since we need to find angle B, so we can say B square would be equals to A square plus C square minus 2AC cos B. So angle B would be equals to cos inverse of A square minus plus C square minus B square dividing by 2AC. Now let me find what are ABC. Okay, so A is 6.4, B is 5.3 and C is 9.7. So B would be equals to cos inverse of A is 6.4 square, C is 9.7 whole square minus B is 5.3 whole square dividing by 2A and C. Okay, that's simplified. Okay, so let's do the denominator first. So 2 times 6.4 times 9.7. This would be 124.16. So the denominator is 124.16. Now for the numerator, 6.4 square plus 9.7 square, subtract 5.3 square, and divided by 124.16. This would be the denominator. And doing cos inverse, this would be 30.5 degrees. Yes, 30.5 degrees is angle ABC. Question number 4 in A part, complete the table for this equation. So just one y is missing when x is -3. So that's pretty easy. Just substitute x equals to -3. We can get y would be equals to. So I just substituted x is equals to -3 into this equation, and I got 0.1. So we can do 2 exponent -3 times 4 divide 5. This would be 0.1. Now for the second B part on the grid, draw the graph of this function for x is -3 to +3. Okay, so when x is -3, the y would be 0.1. Okay, so x is -3 and the y would be 0.1, this point. The second point, when x is -2, y would be 0.2. For -2, it would be 0.1, 0.2. When x is -1, y would be 0.4. Okay, for -1, it would be 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, and 0.4, this point. For the next point, for 0, it would be 0.8. When x is 0, the y is 0.8 over here. For 1, it is 1.6. Okay, so for 1, it would be 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, this point. For 2, it is 3.2. We have 2, and we have 3, 3.1, 3.2, this point. And the last, when x is 3, the y is 6.4. Okay, so x is 3 over here, we can find 6.4. Okay, so 6, 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, and 6.4, this point. Okay, let me connect all the points to get a smooth curve. Okay, so this is a graph of a given function. Now for part C, by drawing a tangent, estimate the gradient of this curve when x is equals to 2. So we need to draw the tangent at x is equals to 2 and find out the gradient. Here is x equals to 2. So let me draw the tangent. Tangent is basically a straight line that passes through that point. So this would be the tangent at x is equals to 2. So now we can take any 2 points on the line to find out the gradient. So if we can take this point, it is here x is 2.9 and the y value is 4.6. And the second point, I considered this. Here the x is 1, 2, 3, 4, 0.4. And the y is 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0.6. So these are the 2 points, 0 0.4, 0 0.6, and 2.9 and 4.6. We can easily find out the gradient by using the formula of slope, that is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is x1 y1, this is x2 y2. y2 minus y1, this would be 4.6, subtract 0 0.6 over x2 minus x1. So let me find out. So this would be 4.6 subtract 0 0.6. This would be equals to 4. Divides 2.9 subtract 0 0.4. This would be 2.5. So 4 divides 2.5 is 1.6. So this would be the gradient. The gradient can be different in your case. It depends upon the curve and the tangent you have drawn at x is equals to 2. Now for part D, use your graph to estimate the solution of the equation. Okay, so as we know that we have the curve y equals to 4 by 5 times 2 exponent x, and from here if cross multiply, 5 would be equals to 4 times 2 exponent x. So it means when y equals to 5, we need to find the value for x. Okay, so going back to the grid and draw the line y equals to 5. So here is a line y equals to 5. Now it crossed the curve when x is this much. So let me find the value for x. Yes, this is x point. What would be this point of x? So this is 2, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, and 2.6. So x would be 2.6. Now for question number 5, the diagram shows a garden shed positioned on a horizontal ground. It is in a shape of a prism. Okay, with the trapezium ABCD as its cross section. So ABCD, this is a trapezium and this is a shape of a prism. The base of a shed ABEF is a rectangle. So the base is a rectangle and this side is a trapezium, right? Okay, so AB, AD, BC and BF is given to us. Calculate the volume of a shed. Okay, so keep in mind the volume of any prism would be equals to area of a cross section times height. So volume of a prism would be equals to area of cross section times height. Okay, so what is the area of a cross section? As we know that trapezium as its area of cross section. So area of cross section is basically a trapezium. We need to find the area of trapezium. And then times by height. Okay, if I can draw the trapezium separately over here, this would be more clear to you. This is a shape of a trapezium. So A and B, these are the two right angles. A and B are the two right angles. And we have C and D, right? Okay, so AB is 1.55, A to B, and then A to D is 2.25, and B to C is 1.85. Okay, and so area of a trapezium, the formula for the area of a trapezium is basically equals to area is A plus B dividing by 2 times height. So what is A and B? A is the base 1, B is the base 2, and times by this height, right? So if I can write it down over here, so area of a trapezium is, we have the base 1, that is 2.25, plus the base 2, that is 1.85, and then dividing by 2, and then times by height. So the height is 1.55, and then times by the total height of the given shape, that is 210. So let me do the calculation. So 2.25 plus 1.85, and then dividing by 2, and times by 1.55, and then times by 210. This would be equals to 6.67. Now for part B, the roof of a shed Cghd is painted. 1 liter of paint covered 2 square meters. Okay, and calculate the amount of paint used. Okay, so let me go back and check the roof. So Cghd, this is a roof, and this is going to be painted. Okay, so if BF is 2.10, so CG is also 2.10, right? So the roof is basically a rectangle. Since the base is a rectangle, so the roof is also a rectangle. So CG is 2.10, DH is 2.10. We need to find these two other sides, and then we can find out the area by doing length times width. So what is CD? We need to find CD. Okay, so as we go back to the diagram that we made for the trapezium, if I can draw a straight line over here, this would be CD, and it is a right angle triangle over here, right? So if A to B is 1.55, this side is also 1.55, right? So BC is 1.85, this side is also 1.85. So what would be this side? We can do it 2.25 subtract 1.85. So this would be 0.4. We can find CD by using Pythagoras theorem because it is a right angle triangle. So we can say CD would be equals to square root of 0.4 square plus 1.55 square. We will get CD, right? Okay, so 0.4 square plus 1.55 square, and then a square root. This would be 1.600. So this is 1.6. C to D is 1.6. Okay. Now we got the value for CD. We can easily calculate the area of the top of the shed. That is also a shape of a rectangle. That is length times width. So 2.10 times 1.6 would be the area. So let me do it over here. So the area of a roof would be 2.10 times 1.60. This would be 2.10 times 1.60. This would be 3.36. 3.36 meters square. And also we know that if 1 liter of paint covers 2 square meters, it means 2 meters square covers 1 liter. So what would be 3.36 meters square? This would be 1 divides 2 times 3.36, right? So 3.36 times 0.5, this would be equals to 1.68 liters. Now for C part, calculate the angle of elevation of D from F. The angle of elevation of D from F, so we need to draw the straight line and connect D and F. Okay, so ADF. and we can connect F with A as well. Right. Now as we can see, we have A, D, F. So A is a right angle. So it is a right angle triangle ADF. We know A to D is 2.25. We need to find this angle. Let's say this angle is alpha, right? Now we need to find AF. How can we find the side AF? We can find the side AF by using a triangle ABF. ABF, and this is again a right angle. So we can easily find AF. So AF would be square root of, by using Pythagoras theorem, 1.55 whole square plus 2.10 whole square and then square root. Okay. 1.55 square plus 2.10 square and then a square root. This would be 2.610. So AF is 2.61. 2.61. If AF is 2.61, A to D is 2.25, we can easily find out this angle. Let me draw this triangle separately. ADF. A is a right angle. Okay, so A, D, and F. We need to find this angle. This is a right angle. Okay, so A to D is 2.25 and A to F we got is 2.61. Okay, so by using the trigonometric ratios formula, we can easily find out the value for the angle alpha. We can say we have opposite and adjacent, so we can use a ratio of tan. Tan alpha would be equals to opposite is 2.25 over adjacent is 2.61. We can get the angle alpha by doing tan inverse. So 2.25 divide 2.61 and doing a tan inverse, this would be 40.7 degrees. So angle of elevation of D from F, this would be 40.7 degrees. Question number 6. In A part, solve the inequality. So we have 6x plus 2x is greater than 5 plus 7. 6 plus 2 is 8x. 5 plus 7 would be 12. So x would be greater than 12 divides 8. So what is 12 divides 8? This is 1.5. So x is greater than 1.5. This would be the answer for this inequality. For part B, Chen buys 4 notebooks and 3 pens for $17.50. You buy 2 notebooks and 5 pens for $14. Form a pair of simultaneous equations and solve them to find the cost of notebook and the cost of pen show you're working. Okay, so we need to make a system of linear equations. So 4 books plus 3 pens would be 17.50, and for the second 2 books plus 5 pens would be equals to 14. So these are the 2 equations. So you can solve it by using a method of substitution or a method of elimination. I would like to use a method of elimination over here. If I can multiply this equation with -2 and this equation with +4, we can eliminate the variable b, right? So 4 times 2 is -8b, -3 times 2 is 6b. This would be equals to 17.50 times 2 would be 35, negative of 35. Okay, now for the second, 2 times 4 is 8b. 4 times 5 would be 20p. This would be 14 times 4. 4 times 14, 56. Let me add these two equations. So we will get 20 minus 6, this would be 14p. This would be equals to 56 subtract 35 is 21. 21 divide 14 would be 1.5. So p is 1.5. So we can say that the cost of pen is $1.50. Right? Okay, now let me find out the cost of notebook by substituting the value of p into any of these equation. So I would like to put it into second equation. So 2b plus 5 times 1.5 would be equals to 14. So b would be equals to 14, subtract 5 times 1.5 and then dividing by 2. So we have 5 times negative 5 times 1.5 plus 14 dividing by 2, 3.25. So the cost of notebook is 3.25. In C part, the first one showed that this can be arranged to this. Okay, so we need to take an LCM and then do a cross multiplication. So x times x minus 5, negative 3 times x plus 2 divides x plus 2 and x minus 5. This would be equals to 4. Okay, now let's multiply the terms. It would be x square minus 5x minus 3x minus 6. This would be equals to 4 times x plus 2 and x minus 5. Okay, for further simplification, we have x square and negative 8x and negative 6, and from here we have 4, and then x times x would be x square minus 5x and plus 2x and minus 2 times 5 is 10. Now x square minus 8x minus 6 would be equals to 4 into x square minus 3x, because 5 times 5 subtract 2 would be 3, and minus 10. So x square minus 8x minus 6, this would be equals to 4x square minus 4 times 3 is 12x minus 4 times 10 is 40. Now let me shift all the terms to the left side. It would be x square minus 4x square minus 8x plus 12x minus 6 plus 40 would be equals to 0. Now this would be negative 3x square, and 12 subtract 8 would be, this would be negative positive 4x, and 40 subtract 6 would be 34, would be equals to 0. And if we can take the negative sign common from here, so it will match with the equation. This would be positive 3x square, this would be negative 4x and negative 34. So taking a negative sign common, it would be 3x square minus 4x minus 34 would be equals to 0. Right. Now for the second part, solve the equation, show your work, give your answer correct to 2 decimal place. So it's a quadratic equation. We can solve it by using a quadratic formula. That is x is equals to negative b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac divides 2a. So let me substitute the values. So a is 3, b is negative 4 and c is negative 34. Now let's substitute all the values into the formula and find out the values of x correct to 2 decimal place. So x would be equals to negative of negative 4 plus minus square root negative 4 square minus 4 a and c divides 2 times of 3. Now x is equals to 4 plus minus square root. Negative 4 square is positive of 16, and negative times negative is positive, and we have 4 times 3 times 34 is 408, and then plus 16 is 424. Square root of 424. Now we have two x values with a positive square root of 424 and a negative square root of 424. So if we can do 4 plus square root of 424 and then dividing by 6, this would be 4.09, or correct to two decimal place it would be 4.10. And for the second, 4 minus square root of 424 divide 6, this would be negative 2.76 or negative 2.77. Correct to two decimal place. Question number 7 in A part, A, B, C, D are the points on a circle centered at O. So A, B, C, D, these are the points on a circumference of a circle and the center of a circle is O. BAD is 68 degrees. BAD is 68 and CBO is 52. CBO is 52 and we need to find the angle CDO. CDO, this angle we need to find. Okay, so first, as we know that the angle on the circumference is 68, so the angle on the center must be twice the angle on the circumference. It would be 2 times of 68. So 2 times of 68 is 136. So the angle O is 136. Right. And if we consider the quadrilateral ABCD, this quadrilateral, we know that the opposite angles of a quadrilateral always sum up to 180, right? The 68 and the angle C sum up to 180. So how can we find angle C? By doing 180 subtract 68, this would be 112. Right? And to get the angle D, we can use the quadrilateral DCBO, this quadrilateral, and sum of all angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degree. So we can find the angle D by doing 360 degree, subtract angle O, subtract angle C, subtract angle B. We will get angle D. So this would be 360 subtract 136 subtract 112 subtract 52. So this would be equals to 60. So the angle D is 60. So CDO would be equals to 60 degrees. Now for part B, the cross section of solid A is a sector of a circle of radius 6 centimeter and angle 40 degrees. The height of the solid is 5 centimeter. Calculate the total surface area of a solid A. So the total surface area would be, as you can see, this is area of a sector of a circle. The top is a sector of a circle, the bottom is a sector of a circle. This side is a rectangle, this is a rectangle, and this is a curved surface area, right? So how can we find out the total surface area of a solid A? So the total surface area, this would be equals to, this is a sector of a circle. So the top and the bottom is a sector of a circle. So 2 times area of a sector of a circle, right, plus this shape is a rectangle, this is a rectangle. So we can say 2 times area of a rectangle right, and plus this curve shape, the front one is a curved one. So how can we find out its area? So we can find the arc length and then times by height. So arc length of a circle and then times by height. Okay, so let me write down all the formulas. So the total surface area would be 2 times area of a sector of a circle. Area of a sector of a circle is theta divides 360 times pi r square, plus 2 times area of a rectangle, so 2 times length times width, plus arc length of a circle. The formula for the arc length is theta divides 360 times 2 pi r and then times by the height, right? So let me substitute all the values. So we have 2, so the theta is 40, so arc length for this sector of a circle, the angle is 40, so theta is 40 divides 360, so we have pi, that is 3.14, a radius. So what is a radius? As we can see, the radius is 6 centimeter, and we have also given in the question that the radius is 6 centimeter. So we have 6 square plus 2 times length times width. So for this rectangle, as we can see, this would be 6 and this would be 5, so 6 times 5. Theta is again 40 divides 360 times 2 pi, radius is 6 centimeter, times the height. So we can find the height for this, the height for this, the outer portion area we're going to find. So here the height is 5. So just substitute height equals to 5. Okay, so let me calculate all of them. We will get the total surface area of a solid A. So let's start with the first one. So we have 2 times 40 times 3.14 times 6 times 6 divides 360, 25.12, 25.12. Right, now for the second expression, 2, 6 and 5, so we can say 2 times 6 times 5, this would be 60, so plus 60, plus for the third expression we have 40 times 2 times pi times 6 times 5 divides 360 to 20.93. Now let me add all of these three to get the total surface area. So plus 60 and then plus 25.12. 106.05 is the total surface area of a solid A. 106.05 centimeter square. Now for the second part, solid B is mathematically similar to solid A. The ratio volume of solid A ratio volume of solid B would be equals to 27:1. Calculate the surface area of a solid B. So we have given the information about the ratios of the volume. Okay, so we can say that the volume of A ratio volume of B, this would be 27:1, and we know that the volume is in centimeter cube, right? To find the ratio of sides, we can take the cube root on both sides to get the ratio of sides. Cube root of 27 is 3. Okay, so 3 square is 9, ratio 1 square is 1. This is representing centimeter square. This is for area. So for solid A, the area is 9, and the solid B, the area representing 1. And we know that for solid A, the area is 106. So 106 is basically representing 9, right? And we need to find the for 1. So what would be 1? 1 is representing 106 point dividing by 9. It's just 106. So let me do it. 106 divides 9. So this would be 11.777. So it would be 11.8 centimeter square. In question number 8, a bag contains 36 balls. There are n red balls in a bag. The rest of the balls are green. Is Ether takes 2 balls from a bag at random without replacement. Complete the tree diagram. Okay, so the first ball and the second ball. So for red, the probability is n out of 36, and for green is 36 minus n out of 36. From red, the red is n, so it would be n minus 1 over 35, and the green stays the same. So if it takes green, the red stays the same. This would be n out of 35. And the green one, he took one green, so it left would be 35 subtract n divides 35. Now for part B, write an expression in terms of n for the probability that Ether's first ball is red and her second ball is green. Okay, so first would be red and the second would be green. So for red, it would be n out of 36 times. For green, it would be 36 subtract n out of 35. So the expression would be 36n minus n square divides 35 times 36, 1260. So this would be the expression. Now for part C, the probability that Ether's first ball is red and her second ball is green is 1 over 7, and we need to show this expression. Okay, so first ball is red and second ball is green would be this, and put it equals to 1 out of 7. So 36n minus n square divides 1260 would be 1 over 7. Right? Now we can do a cross multiplication. 7 times 36. This would be 252. 252n minus 7n square would be equals to 1260. So if we can arrange negative 7n square, positive 252n, and negative 1260 would be equals to 0. Now dividing all the terms with negative 7, so we can take negative 7 common, n square, so divide negative 7, negative of 36, and 1260 divides 7, this would be 180, positive of 180. So the expression would be n square minus 36n plus 180. This would be equals to 0. So this matches with this one. Now for part D, solve the equation, show your work. Okay, so we can solve it by using a quadratic formula. So we can say n would be equals to negative of b plus minus square root b square minus 4a and c divides 2a, 2 times 1. So n would be equals to 36 plus minus square root. So negative negative would be positive of 36. 36 square is 1296, and negative 4 times 180 would be 720, and 1296 subtract 720 would be 576. So we can write down square root of 576, and then dividing by 2 times 1 is 2. Now we have two answers, 36 plus square root of 576 and divides 2, n would be equals to 30. And the other one is 36 minus square root of 576 divides 2. This would be 6. Now for the E part, there are more green balls than red balls in a bag. As we know that from the question, we know that the red balls are n and the rest of the balls are green. So if the red balls are n and the green balls are 36 minus n, so if I can say that the red balls are n and the green balls are 36 minus n, right? And there are more green balls than red balls, right? So green are more. So if we select n equals to 30, so the red would be 30 and the green would be 36 minus 30 would be 6. So green would be 6 and the red would be 30. So red would be more than green. So n must be equals to 6. For n equals to 6, the red balls would be 6 and the green balls would be 30. Find the probability that the ether takes 2 green balls. Give your answer as a fraction in its lowest form. Okay, so 2 green balls. N would be equals to 6. So for green, what is the probability for green? 36 minus n over 36, 35 minus n over 35. So let me write it down. It would be 36 minus n over 36 times 35 minus n over 35. Now just substitute n equals to 6. 36 subtract 6 would be 30 out of 36 times 35 minus 6 would be 29 by 35. 29 times 30 is 870 divides 35 times 36 is 1260. Now we need to convert the fraction into its lowest form. It would be 870 divides 1260. It would be 29 out of 42. So this is a fraction in terms of the lowest form. Number 9, in A part, H is a point this and J is a point this. The first part, find HJ. HJ is basically equals to OJ minus OH. Now what is J? J is -3 and 6, and subtract with H, that is 5 and 2. So we have -3 minus 5 and 6 minus 2. So this would be negative of 8 and 4. So HJ is -8 and 4. Now for the second part, calculate the magnitude of HJ. So the magnitude is equals to square root of x component square plus y component square. Right? 8 square is 64. 4 square is 16. 64 plus 16 would be 80, and the square root of 80 would be 4 square root of 5, or 8.94. Now for the third part, M is a midpoint of HJ. Find the position vector of M. So the midpoint is x1 plus x2 dividing by 2, y1 plus y2 dividing by 2. So we have the component of HJ. So H is 5, 2 and J is -3, 6. x1, y1, x2, y2, right? Now just substitute the values. So x1 is 5 minus 3 dividing by 2, comma 2 plus 6 divides 2. So it would be 5 minus 3 divides 2. This would be 1. And 2 plus 6 divides 2. It would be 4. So the midpoint is 1, 4. Now for part B, the diagram shows the shape made with the 7 identical equilateral triangles. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These 7 identical equilateral triangles. OA is vector P, O to A is P, and O to F is Q. Okay, so if OA is P, it means this is P, its parallel side is P, this side is P. So means this one is P, this is P, this side is P, right? And this O to F is Q, so this bottom is Q and this would be Q. So in downward direction this would be Q, in downward this is Q, this downward is Q, and this downward would be Q, right? Now in the first part, express as simply as possible in terms of P and or Q. In the first A, FB. FB is F to G and G to B. FG is P and GB is P. So FB is FG plus GB. This would be equals to P plus P. This would be equals to 2P. Right. Now for the B part, FE, we need to find F to E. F to E is basically F to G and then G to E. FG plus GE. So FG is P plus G to E is Q. So the answer is P plus Q. Okay, now for the second part, X is a point on FB and Fx ratio XB is 3:1. Express OX as simply as possible in terms of P and or Q. So first we need to find where is X on FB. Okay, so on FB there is a point X and we have given the information that Fx ratio X to B would be 3:1. It means the point would be over here. Fx is the ratio 3 and X to B is in a ratio of 1. So we have X over here. And we need to find OX. Let me join O and X. Right, so X is a point on FB such that Fx is in the ratio of 3 and XB is in the ratio of 1, and the total would be 3 plus 1 would be the ratio of 4, right? And FB, we got the value of FB from the first part, that is 2P, right? Okay, so O to X follows a path O to F and F to X, right? So O to X would be OF plus FX. OF is vector Q and F to X. F to X is basically in a ratio of 3. So it would be the ratio 3/4 of FB. So this would be 3/4 of FB, that is 2P. 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 would be 4, it would be Q plus 3/2P. So the answer for OX is Q plus 3/2P. Q plus 3/2P. Okay, now for part 3, Y is a point on BD. The quadrilateral OXYF is a trapezium. Express XY as simple as possible in terms of P and or Q. So Y is a point on BD. Okay, so where is BD? B to D. This is BD. And Y is a point on B to D such that OX, Y and this F must be a trapezium. Okay, so if it is a trapezium, then OX must be parallel to FY. So this is a shape of OX. It must be parallel to FY. Y must be over here. So for trapezium, opposite sides are parallel. We need to find the value for X to Y, this side. Okay, so O, X, Y and F. This is a trapezium now, and for trapezium OX and FY, these two sides are parallel. We need to find the side XY, right? So what XY follows the path X to O, O to F, and F to Y, right? So if I can use a separate sheet of paper, so we can say that XY follows a path of X to O plus O to F plus F to Y. Okay, so what is XO? So from here we know that XO, OX is this, and XO would be negative of this. It would be negative Q, negative 3 by 2 P plus O to F is Q, right? Fy. Now we need to find the value for F to Y, right? To get Fy, first we are going to use the concept that the line OX and Fy, these two lines are parallel, right? So if we have the line, let's say the line L and the line M. So this is a line L, this is a line M, right? When two lines are parallel, then one line is some constant times the second line. Line L is constant times line L, right? So from in our case, we know that OX is parallel to Fy, right? OX is parallel to Fy, so it means Fy must be equals to some constant K times OX, right? And we know the value for OX is Q plus 3 by 2P. So Fy must be equals to some constant times Q plus 3 by 2P, right? Okay. So let me find the path for F to Y. F to Y is F to B and B to Y, right? So let me write down the path for Fy. So F to Y follows a path of FB plus BY. Okay, so what is FB? This is P and this is P. So FB is 2P plus B to Y. As we know that B to D is 2Q. What is B to Y? B to C is Q, and this would be some constant times Q. Let's say some constant M times Q, right? Okay, now let me substitute that value over here. For Fy, it would be 2P plus MQ would be equals to KQ plus 3 by 2 P and K. Okay, now let me compare the coefficients. So let me compare P. So we have 2P and 3 by 2pk. So 2 would be equals to 3 by 2k, right? So from here we can easily find out the value for k. So 2 times 2 would be 4. So k would be equals to 4 out of 3. And let me compare the q. So m is equals to k. So when m is equals to k, so m would be equals to 4 by 3, right? Okay, now Fy is some k times Ox. So let me put the value over here. So what is the value for Fy now? So Fy is some k times Ox, right? So the k is 4 by 3. So Fy is 4 by 3. And what is Ox? Ox is this OX, Q plus 3 by 2P. So this would be equals to Q plus 3 by 2P, right? So Fy, this would be equals to 4 by 3Q plus 4 times 3 is 12. Or we can cancel, 3 gets cancelled with 3, 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2P. Yes, this is Fy. Now we can easily substitute that Fy over here and we can get Xy. So plus Fy, so Fy is 4 by 3Q plus 2P. 4 by 3Q plus 2P. Okay, so we have negative Q, positive Q. We have the Q expression is 4 by 3Q and the P would be 2 minus 3 by 2. So 3 dividing by 2 to subtract 3 by 2 would be 1 by 2P. So the answer for Xy is 4 by 3Q plus 1 by 2P. So let me write it down over here for the fourth part. Yes, Xy is 4 by 3Q plus 1 by 2P. Question number 10. F of x is given and g of x is given. In A part, find f of negative 4. So f of negative 4 would be 3 subtract 2 times negative 4 dividing by 5. So 2 times 4 is 8. So we can do 3 plus 8 divides 5 is 11 out of 5. Okay. Now for the B part, find f inverse of x. So to find f inverse of x, at the first step we need to put y equals to f of x. That is 3 minus 2x dividing by 5, and then we can replace the variable y with x and the variable x with y. And in the third step we need to solve for y. So we have 5x would be equals to 3 minus 2y. So 2y would be equals to 3 minus 5x, and y would be equals to 3 minus 5x dividing by 2. So this y is representing f inverse of x. 3 minus 5x dividing by 2. Now for part C, g of p would be equals to f of p plus 1. Find the value for p. So first we need to put the value of g of p, replacing x with p and here the x with p plus 1. So g of p would be p minus 7 divides 4. This would be equals to 3 minus 2 times p plus 1 divides 5. Let's do a cross multiplication. 5p minus 35. This would be equals to 4 times 3 minus 2p minus 2. 5p minus 35. This would be equals to 4 times, we have minus 2p plus 1. So 5p minus 35 would be equals to 4 times 2 minus 8p plus 4. So we have 5p plus 8p. This would be equals to 4 plus 35. So we have 8 plus 5 is 13p. Would be equals to 35 plus 4 is 39. And 39 divides 13 would be equals to 3. So the value for p is 3. So this is the last question of our paper. If you have any queries, please let me know in the comment section and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Take care.